Hey, it is Tiffany here, Mellow Vybes, and I'm coming at you just totally like not caring what my camera looks like. I didn't set up anything extra. Just want to like talk and release a lot of things that I feel good about doing on YouTube. Like I kind of just like left Instagram, but I kind of came back the other day, but it doesn't resonate with me like YouTube. I don't know if it's like because I was on YouTube longer or what, I don't know. Like YouTube started when I was like my sophomore year of college, like 2005. So and Instagram was like 2012. I don't know, I like videos. So, and I like recording versus doing lives. And I don't think I can even do lives here, but anyway, regardless, there's been so much happening in my life. I've gone through so much stuff in the first half of this year, and it's like, I don't know, I've had so many highs and so many lows, and I haven't put anything out here, I think, since being in Miami, I believe was like the last video I put out. So I'm feeling called to just like put things out that are not taking my time. I'm like calling in more ease in my life. I was like forced into being more still recently. And so I don't want to do edits. I don't want to do thumbnails. I don't want to spend my time doing things that to me are frivolous when I just want to, you know, do it and put out what I want to put out. So to like go over some stuff, I guess, that's really shifted me internally is my nephew died. He's my second nephew. And that happened 2 months ago. Not even. May 23rd, but it was May 22nd when he had an accident and we were in the hospital with him. And honestly, it was the most traumatic experience of my life. And I don't want to go like too into it. But actually, it really should have started with the fact that around May 12th-ish, I want to say, I like lost my voice. I lost my voice, and like I've never lost my voice before. I've been sick and like not been able to sing the same or whatever for a few days while I'm sick, but like I've never not been able to talk, and I literally lost my voice. And then a few days later, I lost my job. I lost one of my jobs. So I think, you know, like when I went to Mexico, I was going there as like literally my first vacation in over 2 years. And I've been working for myself. You know, when you work for yourself, like there's really no breaks unless you make it and then you don't get paid. But I'm going through this process where I literally have to have something that's like secure. So even though I do work for myself, I still do work for myself. Like I had to have something that was like a job. You know, like the government makes it so like complicated to be self-employed. So like I needed something that was like a job. So I got like this position in this company, a really big company, and I've been working that for 2 months, and literally on my 2-month anniversary, like I had already done like, anyway, it was nothing to do with my managers or anything but my performance. It was just like they were shifting things around and eliminating positions. And so they eliminated my position. And I couldn't even really say anything because I lost my voice. I was like in a meeting with the VP and I was just like, I can't really speak, but okay. Like I was kind of in shock. I've never like been let go before. But they gave me like a severance package, which was really good, especially for only being there for 2 months. And so like, I'm okay. And then, you know, less than a week later, then I lost my nephew. And so it's really been traumatic, to say the least. And then after that, when everyone came up here for his funeral, somebody brought COVID, and I got COVID for the first time ever. And yeah, so it was a lot. And I felt like even the COVID like paused like my going through my grief process. I mean, it was like 5 days. But yeah, like me, my mom, one of my sisters, my sister's fiance, and my stepfather, like we all got COVID, and it's like really. I just thank God that like my brother didn't get COVID after like, you know, already losing a son. And, like his whole household was good. But it was just so much, and it was so much to like to go through all that and like semi go through it, not alone because I have my, you know, my family, but I'm always like the person that's like trying to make sure people are okay. Like I was really trying to make sure like people were eating, taking their vitamins, like, and it was nice that like, you know, one of my cousins and like my aunts, they would, you know, call and check on me, like, how are you doing? So like that was nice, but it was like really hard to like, you know, then be in this, you know, long distance relationship. And you know, I've been engaged for a year and like 4 months now, almost 5. So long. Didn't really plan on that. And like he was supportive as like much as he could be, like via the phone, but like you know, it's like having to deal with a long distance relationship and like communication issues sometimes because of reception and the area that you're in, and while going through my grief process. And like I was actually supposed to go visit him during that time, and so I had my cousin helped me like cancel my trip because then I was, you know, at a funeral. Yeah, so it was a lot. And actually like I did go to DR with my family just a few weeks ago because they were already going to go for our family vacation. And I was like, wasn't sure if I was going because I had this job, but now that I didn't have this job, I'm like, I was able to like use the money I already spent on the ticket for May to June, and move it to June and all that stuff. So it went. But I mean, it's apparently like a blessing in disguise. I didn't have to deal with work that I had gotten let go, you know, a week before everything happened. It's like I kind of just like shut down, and it was really difficult for me, you know, as someone who is, you know, a healer and always like concentrating on healing other people, that I needed to like really just be still and like work on healing myself. I really didn't feel like doing anything. I didn't feel like even doing like my practices. I mean, I did some things. I mean, I just spent time talking to God, you know, but like I didn't want to journal. I didn't want to like do videos. I didn't want to like talk about stuff really to other people. I kind of just like shut down. Like I have like this goal list. I've not done that since. I've not done like my gratitude rituals, my manifestation rituals that I do, that I like to do, that are really like helpful to, like I didn't feel like doing anything. Like I didn't want to do anything. It was just like I didn't want to talk to anybody. It was really like this period of depression that I'm like slowly coming out of. And as I start to do things again, but I feel like it's not always necessary to do stuff, even if you know things are helpful. And it's like, okay, well, I know meditation is going to help me, and I know, but it's still like, I don't want to have to do anything. And like, and feeling like that was okay. And maybe, you know, I work with Anaya Wellness, and like, I did talk to, you know, Tom, the founder, a few times about everything, and she was like really holding space for me and my family, which was amazing. And she's like, it's okay, sometimes you don't need to do anything. And I feel like that's really where I was. Like I didn't want to do anything, and in this time, like I really let go of things that I felt like were starting to be too much. Like, you know, I have my podcast, and And I really had to like end it abruptly at like episode 7 instead of doing like 10 as like we normally do. And maybe we'll pick it up another time, maybe not. Like, so I was able to have a, you know, good conversation with my co-host about that. So I'm like, I'm not going to be, you know, it's one thing to just talk, which is what I'm doing right now. It's another thing to then have to go and edit and do all this stuff and upload it. And I'm like, I'm not doing that. And so, you know, that's, you know, left alone. Yeah, I actually did a video before everything happened that was on my channel, and I finished it, but then I actually wanted to edit it to put some other information. And I don't know if I'll probably ever do. It was about travel and the travel insurances that I use and like what I use for my trip and everything. And I wanted to like put some more information about that since I just was, you know, on another trip. I'm like, I probably won't do it, you know. My travel insurance is on my travel page on my website. You know, check that out. But like, I just want to come on here and like share just, you know, honestly about like what this whole period of time and grief process has been like. And I don't know if maybe I'll just start using YouTube as a journal. Like, I don't feel called to be doing all this extra stuff. I'm calling in more ease and calling in more like doing things with less effort. Like, I'm tired of putting so much effort into things when things should be more in flow. And so, yeah, so like it's just been a whole process. Like every day is a process. Every day is like, oh, this like is really life now. And as somebody who's like, I just in the last 8 years started to experience loss, I'm like, oh, this is what like this, you know, like coming to terms with like, oh, this is like how it's going to be. Except like I was preparing myself for this stuff, but with all the older people in my family, not with like the young children, not with, you know, so that's something like you don't prepare yourself for, and you certainly don't want to prepare yourself for. So I've been really working through that and my emotions around that, and still being able to like feel his presence. And the other day I could smell him, because, you know, energy doesn't die. It just changes form. And so it's like dealing with that and like the really exhaustion of like, you know, having this relationship that's so like far away and things are taking so much longer than we ever anticipated. And it's just like, you know, we went there, I was able to see him briefly. Like I had my vacation with my family, and then I had the days that I was only supposed to be there for like 3 days when I was supposed to go in May. And then like just having to shift my dates for my Airbnb and shift my dates for my flights and stuff. So I saw him briefly and was able to like, you know, have some good talks that were like really necessary and were good. But it's still like so difficult. And yeah, so I really have been like, what do I feel like doing? Like, what am I doing? Like, I feel like I've just kind of dropped everything, and I can't like just drop everything. Like I ended up making like friends with the mom of my Airbnb owner because she was the one that was taking care of the place. And told her like, you know, the other week I was like, I'm kind of depressed, but like, but I feel like I'm kind of coming out of it. And starting to want to do some things again. So I'm here. And I really feel like I was, you know, watching somebody on YouTube that I subscribe to, and, you know, she was talking about like this, like whole like masterclass series, this live boot camp that was happening. And it was around money, and like I try not to do things around money, but it's something about it like really caught my attention. So I don't want to like focus on money. I want to focus on like the impact that I'm making and like doing my work. But I was like, I might sign up. So I let it linger for a little bit. And in that time I had like, you know, people sign up for my class that I teach on Anaya Wellness. I teach 3.5 classes on Anaya Wellness, I'll say. Because one is a 2-parter. And I have one on hypnosis, one that's more of a life coaching, and one that is more poetic, creative writing stuff. So it was my life coaching one, which is also creative writing. All of my classes actually are creative writing. So, but it just has the certain elements in my background. So this one was more life coaching, and it's really good that I actually like I've prepared this course. I've done slides for this course like over a year ago, because I was just like, am I really going to teach like a life coaching class right now? But the work was, it's pretty much done, and I'm like leading people through it. But I like wanted to do like a refresher, and I did one with my cousin, which was really helpful, which was helpful like for both of us. Like, it was really good to hear her thoughts on, certain aspects in your life. It's really reflective, a reflective class. And let me tell you, when I did it the day after with my student, like I had a couple students and then like had some cancellations. So then I ended up with one student, which honestly, like I love working one-on-one. I've always grappled with like doing group things and like wanting to do like, group sessions and all that stuff. And it's just like, I really like to be one-on-one with people. So it was actually a blessing. And honestly, she was like one of the most amazing students ever, or like probably the most amazing. Like, and she was so like grateful for like the course, the class, and like the questions. And it was just like, I was in my element again, which I haven't felt in a while since I've been, going through everything. I love when I teach what I teach, that I really feel like I'm channeling, and I really feel like spirit moves through me. And so I felt like so good about that. And so that's when I came back to Instagram and I did a post about it, because like it was so healing for me as much as it was for her. And yeah, so then I decided to like, sign up for like, let me just do it. Like, it wasn't, wildly expensive or really expensive for all the stuff that was being offered. And so I signed up for that confessions money boot camp, and honestly, like obviously I said I like lost my like sources of income, and then I haven't really been working in Anaya Wellness. I think I just started a couple weeks ago, because obviously she knew what I was going through, and haven't been doing anything in Mellow Vybes, obviously. And so but I've been like spending more money than I ever have probably, and people know me, like they know I'm like pretty frugal, like I'm all about my budget. I was just like, I'm gonna keep treating myself. And so that's what I've been doing. And so I did that boot camp, and I'm still actually going through it. Like I was just listening to a course because it was live, and it was like 11 hours. And I was like, I don't know, I'm gonna stay as long as I can. I actually had a family cookout that day. So I logged up around 6. I had like 4 more hours or 3 more hours. So I'm trying to like finish the classes, but like the classes I took, because it was an hour per woman, and there were like 13 women or 12, 11 women, but there was like opening ceremonies and closing ceremonies. And we did the closing ceremony just a few days ago. Like all this was Friday, and then the closing ceremony was like Sunday, I think. Yeah. So, I mean, it was beautiful. Like it was more than about just making money. It's just about like how, about receiving, and are you comfortable with receiving, and like just different things. Like it was super emotional, and it wasn't like all these money people. It was just like women who have like mastered how they can just be open to receive, basically, and by just sharing themselves and being vulnerable and whatever, and like doing stuff that's like authentic. And so like that's my speed. And like the community around that, like I'm already like in a group with like a lot of the women that like attended. And seeing that some of them are like near me, like it's really what I needed, because I've been really needing support, and support that is like understanding, support from like-minded people. And so that's what I really appreciated, being in a space with like-minded women who were, I guess, just as woo as I am, and open. It was honestly amazing, and it is honestly amazing. Like I said, I'm still going through it. I just like listened to this master class from Kadist Ashe, and that's really what like pushed me to even like start recording right now. So yeah, I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling like ever since like I took that course, or like signed up for it, that like I'm seeing opportunities, legit. Like I have a friend of mine, we've tried to work on stuff before, but hasn't like really happened. We're like in totally different continents and everything. And now we're talking about doing music together. Like he has like this album that he wants vocals for, and I haven't even like got to do music in a while. And my dad actually was just asking me that on my birthday a few weeks ago. And I was just like, no. But this came up and it's like, oh, I need a vocalist. And I was like, I'm available, And now that just seems like this might be like really one of the most perfect opportunities for us to do something together. And yeah, it's like, I have this space now, I have this time now, and I'm trying not to be like this busy person just doing stuff. I just want to do the things that are, obviously aligning. And obviously I do the things that align with me, but I'm doing all the busy work with it. And I'm trying to like release myself from the busy work, the productivity of, like I said, thumbnails and editing. I'm over it. And so I'm like, okay, I can get into like singing again, and recording stuff, and he's the one like mastering everything, so I don't really have to like worry about that. So I'm like, cool. And since I've had like the free time, I signed up for Narrative, which is like this app. Well, Nubia is the app, or it's a website, but anyway, it's a group. Like I've been, if you know me, like if you know me personally, I've taken Saturday classes in class with Car on the Karen Hunter YouTube channel for 2 years. And it's like Africana studies classes every Saturday, and I'm there. They started their own like website and everything last year, and I was like, not wanting to spend the money, and also like, because I'm like, I don't really have the time to be on here like taking these classes, like the extra classes that they were doing, which one of the classes is like on nutrition. And again, if you know me, I like nerd out about like nutrition and stuff like that, like wellness and foods and all that stuff is my thing. And so now I'm like, oh, I have the time, like as a birthday present to myself last month. I was like, I'm gonna buy myself like the monthly subscription, and then it just renewed today, my second month. But like I've been like binging all of like the wellness cooking classes with Dr. Amen, and who's like a vegan doctor. And so love it. Like we're on the same wavelength, and we're learning like ancestral things and spiritual things. And so I've been like in my element. And honestly, that was like the one thing that was super healing to me while I was not wanting to do anything. Because even before I purchased it for my birthday in June, like I had, fallen off with my Saturday classes for obvious reasons. And then so I was catching up, and like those were the only things that were like, feeding me really. So yeah, so now like I'm a Narrative in Nubia, and it's like so amazing. So those are things I've been doing, what I've been into. And I've been doing like more, like she's inspiring me, Dr. Ahmed has inspired me to do stuff, and like made black eyed peas for the first time. Like I never, because I hate like having to like soak beans and stuff like that. I actually did it for the first time the other day. And you know, mixing my own spices. I'm a mixologist anyway, so like I've been mixing things, doing my lattes, doing my tea lattes. And it's really been like re-inspiring me to like put out teas, because I was thinking that years ago. Like I made my own tea for like my family for Christmas the other year, like our own tea blend for specifically for our family, and like I'm always mixing things up. And that was like a really, really good one. It had to do with like our ancestral, you know, like our ancestry, like the tea that I made for our family. And yeah, so now I'm like having all these tea ideas that I can maybe offer in Mellow Vybes. So I'm thinking about it. But like, yeah, I'm like finally feeling like motivated to do stuff. And that's really, I would say, because of narrative and because of the Confessions Money Bootcamp. And so that's been what's happening that's lighting me up recently. So like I said, I've been slowly moving out of depression and stuff, and also like trying to mentally prepare myself for moving, because I'll be moving to Oklahoma this year. I'm trying to target it at October. It's been a really busy summer already, and it's going to be more busy. Like I didn't say like I had to like get the COVID vaccine, which I really wasn't trying to do. Like I said, like I've been fine this whole time, and I just got COVID from my nephew's funeral, and or whatever, the people that came to my nephew's funeral. And so and I moved through that fine. But my cousin is getting married in a week and a half, and so his whole thing was like, you had to have a vaccine. And I was really like grappling with that, because I'm like, okay, but you're vaccinated, but you're asking for a negative COVID test too. So I'm like, a negative COVID test is really all that matters. But I just really was like, whatever. And feel like arguing about it anymore. And like my family was like, you have to come to the wedding, you have to come. I'm like, fine. So like the day after I got back from DR, which was July 7th, I got the first vaccine. So I'll get the second one literally the day before we drive down to Philly for the wedding. So I'll be in Philadelphia for like a week and a half. I'm staying for my cousin's birthday, which is my cousin that's getting married. It's her sister, and she's my best friend. My cousin is my best friend, and so I'll be staying for her birthday. And I was gonna like try to fly to Oklahoma from there, like to visit, but I'll be coming back home, and then I'll fly next month. Not the month after. I'll fly in September. I'm staying until August in Philly, and then I'll fly in September to Oklahoma to visit. So I got into a program down there. Basically really pay remote workers to like move to Oklahoma. So, and then I could just use a co-working space and all that stuff. So I got into that program in May before everything happened, literally like a week or 2 weeks before everything started falling apart. I got into that program. And so they'll like reimburse me for my visit. And yeah, so I'll be doing that in September. So it's just busy. And then I think I have a trip with my friends in October, but like, I can't even think about that right now. So I'm just like wanting to talk to you guys and like catch you up on like what's been going on. And I think I'll probably just like share like this from now on. And I don't know if I'll be putting an intro or anything, but maybe we'll see. And like I said, I'm not trying to do too much. And hopefully in some way, if you're like grieving or going through a phase of depression or something, like maybe hopefully something I said has helped you. And I will, or if this is your very first video, wow, I guess I'll leave a little bit of info about myself in the description. And I'll also leave you the link to like that Confessions bootcamp, because honestly, you know, everything happens in divine order, and it came in the time that I needed, and I'm finally feeling like inspired to do something and more invigorated than I've felt in a while, actually. So I'll leave that. And I'll also leave the link to narrative as well. Now I'm like inspired to like see if I can offer something to narrative. Like, can I do a class for narrative? Like, oh my gosh, is that like too big of a thing? But I'm like learning to put myself more out there. So maybe if I can offer something narrative, that'd be really awesome. But like, we'll see. Okay, I'm gonna go like probably have a beet latte right now. Yeah, so thanks for watching. And again, hopefully something has been helpful, because that's what I try to do. All right, peace and mellow vibes.